we're hopeful that when we see the Fáilte Ireland document, strategy, whatever, I don't know what it's going to be called ultimately, but when we see that, we expect to see some clear policy direction, because obviously that document will have gone through the department and it will therefore reflect policy, or should be will be aligned, I'm sure, with policy, and that's a really key part of what we're expecting and hoping to see. I mean, you did see, Frank, that we said that one of the areas that that is red is this whole area of training and development, and that, you know, that permeates everything from the fact that a job in tourism is actually a good job, progressive job with strong career opportunities both domestically and internationally, but the whole area of training around that is absolutely vital, and it just isn't there. I mean, it's just coming in the car this morning, listening to the radio, and them talking about the construction industry, and somebody suggesting, I don't know what year he said, but he said a tradesman's going to cost €100 an hour in 5 years' time because we're not training, we're not developing them. And I mean, no idea what the numbers for tourism will be, but you'd have the same issue if you're not training and developing the people. It has to be a break, it has to be a constraint on growth. So, you know, you'd say to yourself, you're looking at it, why don't you develop a strategy that will, you know, back to the numbers we quote here, that will help you deliver to that point?
There seems to be a big gap there.
Yeah, I think that's fair comment.
When we talk about this slide, even to industry people, you know, they're delighted with sort of the ambitious growth targets and stuff, but the one bit that they sort of go, yikes, is the employment numbers. You know, where on earth will 80,000 more tourism employees come from over the next few years? So there's a big job to be done in terms of changing perception of the industry, I suppose, making tourism more attractive to school leavers, to college goers, to people who are looking for a job, because as Ruth said, it's an attractive industry. You know, there's an awful lot of people in the industry that never leave the industry, and the reason is because it's varied, it's you know, it's people facing, you know, it's an industry with opportunity, and even, you know, the perception is that tourism is a poor employer, or hospitality is a poor employer, and so on. But if you look at the latest CSO numbers, in fact, the accommodation and food sector, weekly earnings in the accommodation and food sector grew much faster than any other sector of the economy. But there's a job of work to be done, but there needs to be one single state agency, if you like, coordinating things, managing things, ensuring that if there are gaps in certain areas that they're being dealt with. And at the moment we don't have that to the industry's satisfaction, and we think that should be the role of Fáilte Ireland.